Hello everyone, this is Brian Kibler with some more bootleg coverage of Grand Prix Detroit. I'm here with Patrick Chapin. Patrick, how you doing?
Excellent. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing real well. Just want to talk a little bit about the deck you chose to play today. So how about you explain a little of your choices?
So I don't know if I chose to play it. It chose me. I decided for a change to play Grixis.
All right.
It's a blue-black-red control deck based around a lot of cheap removal and counterspells, and then ways to draw more cards so that I have more counterspells and removal. Eventually, you try to take over the game with a cruel ultimatum. That's the main thing you're trying to do. It's like a better for you young kids out there. It's a real Sphinx's Revelation. It's what Sphinx's Revelation wants to be when it grows up. And then beyond that, you just eventually win with either Snapcaster Mages and Muldrifters, or some of the Manlands.
So what was your decision to play Lava Claw Reaches as opposed to Creeping Tar Pit as your two of?
Yeah, so Creeping Tar Pit is generally just a much better card than Lava Claw Reaches, but it's better in decks to have creatures to hit with, because the unblockable is real nice. By the time I start hitting people with this deck, often I've killed everything on the board.
Yeah, you do have a lot of ways to do that.
And the nice thing is that you end up with tons and tons of mana, so often Lava Claw Reaches will hit for 10 or more in a single turn. And so it's just a good way to end the game, like if you're in top deck mode, or if you temporarily have an opening. So I would actually played more, but Black Cleave Cliffs is super important because it comes into play untapped for things like Pillar of Flame and Lightning Bolt.
Sure. What do you think your good and bad matchups are?
I don't rightly know. I don't really think I necessarily have that many good matchups, but I know an awful lot of people's brews just lose to the card Cruel Ultimatum. A lot of people will lose to deck like just stuff they're not really familiar with, and I think honestly anybody who's just playing some kind of like if they're playing like a deck with a bunch of creatures, sometimes I can just match up well and kill those creatures, and sometimes if they're playing a combo deck, if I draw a lot of my interactive cards, I can actually beat them that way too.
All right, so you want to walk us through your sideboard real quick?
Yeah, sure. The sideboard's super important in decks like this because Modern is so wide open. You have to have a lot of cards that are very versatile, that have a lot of applications.
Oh my god, so much glare.
So like you have stuff like Batterskull, which can be an added threat against a control deck, but it also is much needed life gain against an aggressive deck. Or you have cards like Liliana, which could help against a hexproof deck, or be another threat against a combo deck or a control deck. And then there's just a lot of some elements for some of the stuff I'm particularly concerned about, like Tron is usually very good against these kind of decks, and I don't even have access to Tectonic Edge, so I'm using Sowing Salt. And then Thoughtseize and Counterflux, or just more permission and discard can be good against any sort of a control or a combo deck. Mainly, it's a lot like a blue-white-red deck, but I kind of don't have Tectonic Edge or Celestial Colonnade. My sideboard isn't as good, but Cruel Ultimatum I think is a little bit better than Sphinx's Revelation. But the main thing is the cards are all just different, and I think a lot of I don't like how blue-white-red matches up against black-green, and I think that various black-green decks are going to be the most popular deck in the format. And I haven't actually tested that matchup with this deck, but I don't know that it's bad like I know the other matchup is bad.
All right, well, excellent, Patrick. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.